don't know about you, but I think I've caught more cases of RPG fatigue than I can count. Though some of the best games can clock in around 60 hours or more, playing back-to-back epic RPGs should really be reserved for those who maxed out their gaming endurance. I chose to max out cuteness instead. RPG fatigue is a real illness, and the cure isn't covered by most major healthcare providers. Fortunately, Nintendo always has a cure for what ails me, and this time it came in the form of a 4-hour arcade-style game that was on the eShop for under $10. Strikey Sisters is a no-nonsense, straightforward, chaotic game that scratches that classic arcade-style itch. If you've ever been to a really old arcade, you've probably seen the game Arkanoid. You know, it's that game where you move the paddle around and try and break all the bricks on the screen with the ball. Strikey is kind of like that, but a more modernized version. I've seen other reviewers compare it to a Super Nintendo game called Fire Strikers. I totally get this comparison, but that game allows the player to move throughout the maps uninhibited, and it lacks one of Strikey's biggest assets, charm. Strikey follows the journey of two sisters on an adventure to recover their missing pet. Both sisters definitely follow typical character tropes. One is assertive and tends to cause the bulk of the drama, while the other one is so timid that you wonder how she ever gets anything done. But hey, you don't play a game like this for characters, you play it to break shit. And break shit, you will. Once you're introduced to the duo, the game gives you a very brief tutorial of hit the ball into the brick, and lets you go about your best life smacking monsters and breaking everything under the sun. Relatable, because this is exactly what I would do if my pets were missing. Everything is soups cute. Monsters and bosses are that adorable type of evil. The game gives off late SNES vibes that have just been tweaked for modern consoles. It's definitely set in the same graphical style of games like Pocky and Rocky and A Link to the Past. Strikey's tunes are another area where they hit that charming sweet spot. A lot of the tracks sound like they were pulled right out of the late 90s Saturday morning cartoons or old school anime. Charm definitely goes a long way in making a gaming experience feel special. Because of this, I actually think the game is more akin to Kirby's Block Ball. It's pretty much the same premise: move the paddles, smack Kirby into shit, watch Kirby do a little dance, and move on to the next level. But you know how Kirby's games are so cute even though there's fuckery abound? That's the vibe this game gives off. The devs knew how to balance the adorableness with the fuckery. Lengthwise, Strikey Sisters is perfect and you definitely get what you pay for. It knows when to get up an Irish goodbye before overstaying its welcome. My playthrough with my husband clocked in around 4 hours without getting all the collectibles or playing any of the extra levels that aren't attached to the main story. So you could probably tack on a couple more hours onto that. I appreciate the shorter length because a lot of games, especially RPGs, tend to stick around way too long, and that's when the cracks start to show. No cracks here though. Strikey keeps it short and simple for when you need to let out some aggression and smack some balls around. Do you know who else likes to smack some balls around?
My mom!
It was worth it. Strikey has a lot of good things going for it that tickle my bits. Simple mechanics? Check. Balls? Check. Power shots? Check. Cats? Check. Boss bitches kicking ass and taking names? Double check. Each level has you breaking all the bricks on screen and then clearing out the remaining monsters. The formula only changes during boss battles, where the goal is just to wipe them out as quickly and as efficiently as possible. There are a handful of spells that you can grab and use to help control the monsters and clear the screen. I really like how these power-ups fit the context of the game, since Strikey's setting is all fantasy and anime, and the sisters are flinging spells left and right. They definitely add to the charm as well. This is one of the other reasons I think this game is a lot more like Kirby's Entry than something like Fire Striker or Arkanoid. Kirby is known for his colorful power-ups that not only help you plow through the game, but are also as cute and charming as hell. For all of its adorableness, Strikey Sisters does fall short in a few areas. For instance, the voice acting? It's bad. It's like hella bad. Like, almost as bad as the original Resident Evil. Like, Jill's Sandwich bad. Like, so bad, I'm going to make you listen to some of it.
Hey you! Where's our cuddly pet? Wait. What are you?
Marie? That's a harpy. How can you not know that? They're defined as evil, ugly-faced, bloodthirsty, winged, deformed anthropomorphous, that will.
See? It's bad. I wouldn't mind these sassy boss skits if they were better. They have the potential to be funny, but the voice acting just drops the ball. It almost seems like they asked their close friends to voice each character. On the bright side, there are a lot of riffs on dialogue from other games like Castlevania and Super Mario. I love it when indie games parody some of the big boys. Also, although games like this tend to be a little chaotic, which is a part of the fun, sometimes a little too chaotic with two people. There's a lot of pressure to make sure you don't lose a ball because both players lose health if someone whiffs. This caused quite a few punches outside of the game. The issue gets magnified when using some of the spells because their special effects have the same color palette as your ball. It made it very hard to track what's going on when you unleash a fury of blasts and fireballs, and there were several times that using these abilities led to many game overs. At the very least, the devs probably anticipated losing frequently, as the second you die, the level very quickly starts over, and there's no limit to lives. One of the nice things about playing a shorter game is that I can get away with writing a shorter review. Haha, suck on that! But in all seriousness, I don't know many people who can play back-to-back RPGs. We all have those reprieve games that let us get a breather in between our 40-hour-plus grand journeys. Strikey Sisters fits that niche perfectly. It's a great game to let out some aggression with a friend, or on a friend depending on how badly they're playing. So strike some balls with your sisters and have a gay old time.